on my behalf, on behalf of everyone here, and all those people of Kollam who are not physically here, but who are spiritually here. Their physical presence is not there here, but their mind is here. And whatever you say on this occasion, I am quite sure will get wide publicity in the media. And with these words, I conclude. I welcome you once again very hard. You are not saying a few words, 5 minutes or so. Okay.
You can ask questions.
She is not giving a talk, but you can start asking questions. She invites questions from you about her works, her poetry, her novels, her commitments. Yes, her commitments to human values. Shall we start? Yes. Lecture is a landmark, I said, in your career and in the political history of India. That was because of the forensic certificate which proved at that time. Now, do you think that the situation has changed as a result of your writing and as a result of the writing of others and the social human rights activists? Has the situation improved today in terms of human rights and freedom?
Actually, thank you so much for inviting me here, and thank you all again for coming here. You asked me that whether the situation has changed in Bangladesh since I wrote Lajja. Actually not. I have written Lajja or Shame in 1992 December, and also it was published in 1993. After demolition of Babri Mosque in India, Muslim fundamentalists in Bangladesh attacked Hindu community. They looted Hindu houses, they destroyed Hindu temples, and attacked Hindu people, raped Hindu women. Many Hindu families left the country for India. I wrote that story, mostly facts, in Lajja. But the situation is not changed yet. After 24 years, still Hindus in Bangladesh have been suffering. A few weeks ago, Hindu houses were burned down again. Hindu temples were attacked. They broke all the deities, and Hindus are now living in fear. Many of them decided to leave Bangladesh again. So the situation is not changed. And, I protested against the attack on minority communities. At that time, not so many people, not so many writers protested, but now I have seen many writers started protesting against the atrocities. Hindus have been leaving Bangladesh. Now, it was 31% in 1947. Now it is only 7% Hindus living in Bangladesh. So maybe after, 10, 20 years or 50 years, maybe there will be no Hindu in Bangladesh. So it's so sad situation. But I blame government. Government is responsible for it. Government does not take any action against those Muslim fanatics who attack Hindus. If Muslim fanatics think that they can do anything on Hindus or minority communities and they can get away with it, so they will continue doing it. And they are actually for the land. They take the Hindu lands, they destroy Hindu houses so that Hindus will leave the country and they will get the Hindu lands. And it is so sad. I protested. I will continue protesting against any attack on minority community, not only on Hindus. I protest against any attack on minority communities, whether they are Muslims or Christians or Jewish or Hindus. Muslims are also oppressed in many countries. I defend Muslims because they are oppressed. I defend Christians in Pakistan because Christians are attacked in Pakistan. So if we believe in human rights, if we believe that in freedom of expression, that everybody should have the right to practice their religion, everybody should have the right to live in their country.
As the morale of the Hindu minority gone down, as the morale, the spirit of resistance of the Hindu minority.
Yeah, many want to stay in their country, whatever happens. But many leave the country. I can understand why they leave the country. Many bloggers, atheist bloggers, secular bloggers in Bangladesh are hacked to death in Bangladesh. So some bloggers are, some bloggers are now so much in fear, they leave the country. They now are living in Europe and America. So if you attack people, because they're minority community, or because they're atheists, or because they're humanists, or because they're progressive people, then progressive people and atheist bloggers and Hindu community will leave the country because we have only one life. We don't want to die, so we try to live. So I think that human rights must not be violated. Freedom of expression should be respected, and we respect religious people's freedom of expression, and also they should respect atheists or non-religious people's freedom of expression. The problem is the government always protects religion and religious people's rights. Government doesn't protect non-religious people's right to practice no religion.
I salute your indomitable spirit in fighting through the sufferings all these years. I bought this only last evening around this time only, and I've read only one chapter fully, that is the first chapter, Forbidden. The rest of the book I have only skimmed through. I have a number of questions, but I'm not going to ask disturb you with the body of questions. But I have one thing to ask. There are moderate Muslims everywhere, and they are not coming forward, moderate Muslims, moderate Hindus and moderate Christians in the world. They are not coming forward to protest against the communalism, the fundamentalism. I believe that everybody has got the right to be different, and we should be able to respect the differentness of other faiths. Thank you. The question is, do you defend people like Islam or Muslims or Christians or Hindus who come forward to protest against fundamentalism? That is question number one. Second question is, in your autobiography, you revealed the names of some celebrities which they protested and dragged you to the court. My view is that, because I'm a very emotional and sentimental person, I feel that by revealing the names of those people who consented to be with you, you have scarred the minds of innocent children and members of their family. Is it right? You are right to reveal their names, but it should have been done in a most modest way. It is my personal opinion. Thank you.
The second question has been asked to you several times.
So I think that everybody should tell the truth. You know, I wrote about some writers or some intellectuals who wanted to ban my book and who asked government to ban my book. It's not that I revealed their name. It was all over media. Already people knew that they wanted to ban my book because, you know, Buddhadev Bhattacharya, the then left from government, the chief minister of West Bengal, declared that 25 writers and intellectuals came to him and they advised him to ban my book titled The Kondito. So all the newspapers published their names. It was not me that who first published their names. And otherwise, why should I hide? You know, when I started writing autobiography, I should not hide the truth. I wrote about my parents, that my parents didn't have that much good relationship. And also, I wrote about other people who exploited me and who exploited not only me, other girls. You know, I think that if you write autobiography, you should write everything that happened in your life. Some people, some writers or some celebrities, when they write their autobiography, they only write good things about them, about themselves. But I did not take that path. I wrote everything that happened in my life, even if I did some wrong things, if I did some very bad things. I mentioned everything, not only that I have, not only those things that I have done very good, you know. So I wrote good and bad about my life and also about other people. So I do not believe in hiding something. And the people who wrote, who wanted to drag me out of Calcutta or West Bengal, those are not actually I first revealed, those are also published in the newspapers and also everybody knows it. So it is not that I hurt innocent out of their children.
More questions? I think that you have given your answers to all these questions in the book. This Exile contains all the answers to your question. When you read the whole thing, you will realize that. And there are other writings also contain the answers to these questions. I think these are questions that you have been often asked to her. And you have yourself referred to these things in your writings. So, we will invite other questions, more questions. Yes.
First is that paying a tribute to your courage. You have stood against the high and mighty, exposed the shenanigans of politicians, and then brought to light the so many things which are hid now under a shroud, which is happening in the family. That it is your great courage is admirable. I appreciate it very much. Now, coming to the question, it is not exactly a question. I seek your views only. You have lived in Bangladesh, you have lived in India, you have lived in United States of America, and you have visited many countries. And as a writer, and as a person who is trained as a physician, you might have seen what is ailing society. I am finding of late there has been a great upsurge in violence, a very great increase in violence. Violence on a basis of communalism, violence against women, violence against children, particularly the girl children, and then against the minorities. So this has been a great upsurge. It has registered recently. So as a doctor, you might have diagnosed all these things. I am asking, what in your view are the reasons for this thing? After finding out the reasons, you will find out the remedial measures. So according to you, what are the reasons for this upsurge of violence?
There are many reasons for this violence. We see that girls and women are attacked. I think that this patriarchal mindset is really a big cause. This patriarchal system considers men as superior beings and women as inferior beings. So women are treated as sex objects, childbearing machines, and slave of men. So they think that women are sex objects, so they can sexually abuse women. And they don't spare children also, because they are also, they are weak, so they cannot protest much, they cannot prevent men. So many children are victims of sexual abuse, not only in this South Asia, but in many places we see. Also we see the popularity of child pornography. There are countries who ban child pornography. I think that child pornography also should be banned, because many men get inspired by seeing child pornography and they attract children. It's easier to rape children and to manipulate children. But if we had equal society, if we didn't have this much, patriarchal, misogynistic systems, we have anti-women cultures, customs, anti-women religion. We have, anti-women traditions, even though laws are not saying that women should be oppressed, but still in the society we see that anti-women cultures and customs and traditions are practiced. And in those cultures, women are humiliated, women are abused, but because those are traditions, we are very happy to practice those traditions. Some of the anti-women traditions are banned, like Shati, but many traditions are still practiced which are anti-women. I think those should be stopped. Women should be considered as equal human beings in every society. Then we will see the violence against women will be stopped. We go to school, colleges and universities, we learn, different subjects, we become, expert in many things, we become physicists, scientists, we become, doctors, engineers, but we are not educated until we learn that women are equal human beings, and it is, nobody should have the right to abuse women or disrespect women. But, the children go to school, they learn different subjects, but they don't learn that they should behave well with women. They think that women are, just playthings, they can do anything with women. They come to home, children come to home, and they see what role their mothers play and what roles their fathers play. Always fathers are superior than their mothers. Always they see that women are weaker beings, that men always, abuse women everywhere, in the streets, in the workplaces. If nowhere women get the equal rights. So I think that if we practice to give respect, women, and if we treat them equal human beings, I think that society slowly will change. If we practice all anti-women cultures and religions, then it will take long time to create an equal society, to create, to change the mindset, patriarchal, misogynistic mindset. Mindset is the biggest problem. Already men, not only men are anti-women, women are also anti-women. Many women are actually brainwashed with patriarchal system. They also think that women are not perfect, they are not complete human beings, and they know less than men, they can do less than men, everything that women are not capable of. Women are taught from the beginning of their life that they are inferior beings, they shouldn't go out, they should be dependent on men. Women show that they can do everything what men can do. They can be doctors, engineers, they can be pilots, they can be astronauts, they can even be, military, they can be police, they can be everything what men can do. So why women are considered incapable of lots of things? It is wrong. But men actually cannot show that they can do what women can do. No. Women prove that they can do what men can do, but men yet to prove that they can do everything what women can do. Men cannot do child care, Men say that, no, we are not for that. Actually, if a children belongs to both, father and mother, father should also know how to do child care. And many men proud to say that, oh, we can't clean or we can't cook. But, so, it proves that men cannot do what women can do. But women already proved they can do what men can do. So now it is men's time to prove that they can do what women can do.
Yeah, I thought that since we are talking about this book Exile, it will be really interesting if Taslima talks about that particular period wherein she was all of a sudden, witch hunted. So Taslima, why don't you talk about that particular period when you went to Hyderabad and the chain of events? I know that the book is in about 350 pages, and every page is just an account of her pain and sufferings. It will be a kind of appetizer for the readers here, and it might interest them. So please, and one more thing. Yeah. So please, share your experiences.
You are a very good salesman.
And this is one, and for records, for records, I have a baby boy, and I'm great at changing nappies, and I'm a reasonably good cook. It's just for records.
You are different. Well, it's the seventh part of my book, autobiography. Here I I wrote how I
I
was.
think 4 of them have been already translated into Malayalam.
Oh, 4 of them.
By ebooks.
Okay. This the 7th part of my autobiography. In this book, I describe how I was thrown out of West Bengal, and then how I was under house arrest, and I was asked by government to leave the country. You know, maybe some of you know that I was in a safe house, but that was the most unsafe house for me. I was constantly asked to leave the country, and I said, no, I'm not going to leave the country. Ministers coming to me and said, how much money you want? We will give you a big house in Europe. The Indian embassy will take care of you. We will give you business class tickets if you want to travel from one country one European country to another. We will give you, cars with chauffeur, and you will have everything. You will have furnished house for yourself. Leave India. I said no. If you cancel my residence permit, I have to leave, but don't say that you will give me this and that. I left everything for India. In Europe, I had everything. I left everything for India. Because I love this country, I love my language. I am a Bengali writer. I wanted to live in a country where, one of the languages is Bengali. I could not go back to my country, but I could live in India where I could speak my language. So, send me back to Kolkata. Don't ask me to leave India. And I am not going to take anything that you are offering. I'm rejecting your offer. I want to stay in India. But, I was forced to leave India because I had high blood pressure. I checked my blood pressure. I found that my blood pressure was very high. I wanted to see a doctor, but the government said no, for security reasons you will not be able to see a doctor. So I informed that in the media. I was given a mobile phone which was actually for, them to
keep track.
Yeah,
Keep track of your movements, basically.
Yeah. Not movement. I was not allowed to step outside.
Every word that you utter.
Yeah. So I informed that to media that I am not allowed to see a doctor. My blood pressure was 220 by 120, and I was really scared that I will have heart attack. But I was finally allowed to see a doctor. But they brought doctors. The people who were actually with me, or I was surrounded by them, they are from the government. And I was given some combination drugs that I never had before. And after having those drugs, I fainted. And I was taken to Ames Hospital in emergency, and I was in CCU. I was admitted in CCU, cardiac care unit, I think, coronary care unit, CCU. And there they found that I had almost no blood pressure, and they gave me life-saving drugs to elevate and also drugs to elevate my blood pressure. And I thought that I was dying. And finally, after a few days, I recovered. Before I recovered, those government people took me out of hospital because a Times of India journalist already saw me, or they published a report that I was in Ames. So the government people were so scared that they would know everything, why I was in hospital, why I was in